Hello, welcome back to my Monday afternoon stream. Hope everyone could hear me okay. Last time we had some audio problems with the music being too loud. Just let me know in the chat if there's problems. But today we're going to do something a little different than Xamarin. I'm going to be working on DotNetNuke and working on implementing Razor pages so we can migrate .NET Nuke websites to .NET Core. So we got a couple fun pull requests that I want us to submit today. We'll get started. So let me start sharing my screen. So I just wanted to show everyone that isn't aware of what Razor pages are. It's a new way to build ASP.NET Core websites. And the thing that I like about it is what you see on the screen here. That's pretty much it. You have this really nice CSHTML page that has simple model bindings to something we call a page model. And there's no need for a controller, but you can still get all of your different actions through like onGet, onPost, onPut, and I really like it a lot. And we're trying to there's no implementation for this in .NET Framework, so we're trying to implement it in .NET Nuke so people can build modules that will be able to work on .NET Core version of DNN. So let me head over to GitHub. We got this really big epic that I created. That's our technical spec. And if you're interested, I'm going to drop that in the chat here. That'll take you to the spec that I put together that kind of documents what we're trying to do. And on the bottom of my spec here, go all the way down. I created this work items table of stuff that we need to work on, and today I was thinking we could start with the migration to .NET 4.7.2, and we'll submit the pull request for that one. So one of the big things we want to get into the platform is dependency injection. And right now we don't have a good way to do that, but upgrading to 4.7.2 is going to give us dependency injection, and it's also going to allow us to support Net Standard 2.0, which is going to be a big thing as we try to migrate. So let's get started with this. So I am going to see where we are. So I got no changes here in our branch. No changes. I'm just going to pull down the latest code. Alright, let's go and create a branch to do our work in. Call this NET 4.7.2 upgrade. Alright. And I got Visual Studio opened already, so let's go and open up our solution. Get started with this. No, it's not one of the most glamorous things to be doing is doing a framework update, but it's something that needs to be done before we move forward. So let's close all these documents here. The thing that I really like about working in .NET Nuke is it really reminds me of my time that I spent in enterprise, because there's so many projects here, and there's just so many moving parts. Keeping it all straight can be difficult. So what I was thinking we could try doing first, because what I need to do is we need to go into every single one of these projects and upgrade them all to 4.7.2. So we could just come in here and update, and it's updated, but I don't have 4.7.2 installed. Oh no, I'm going to need to install that. Let's go to the download page and install 4.7.2. Let's get the developer pack. And save. Good thing I got fast internet. Probably should have checked that before we started the stream. You guys all tuned in just to watch me download files, run installers, and update framework version. Alright, let's run the installer. Put down Visual Studio. Down. There we go. So let's accept. move forward. And then once we get 4.7.2, we can go update the framework version. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Oh, while that's running, we can talk about some of the stuff that I don't know. Oh, it's going quicker. Made a liar out of me. There it goes. And almost done. Alright, setup is successful. Did I do anything else? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's start up Visual Studio again. We'll open up DNN platform. And now I should be, there it is, 4.7.2. So we could go through and update all these manuals, but before we do that, let's head back over to GitHub. So what I did is I went through and analyzed all of our projects already and figured out which ones were at .NET 4.5, which ones are at other versions of the framework, and they're all at 4.5. And before we proceeded with this, one of the big things that we needed to recognize that people already running the platform, they're going to need to make sure they installed the .NET 4.7.2 runtime, but that was easy. We just did it. Just click install, done. So, so let's go and update one of these, and then we can try some tricks to update them all very quickly. And I hope this only takes us a few minutes so we can move on to some cooler things. All of that. Did that do it? I don't know. I always like editing these files in their CS proj. Let's see. There should be, yep. Target framework version is now v4.7.2. That is probably, that's hard for me to read, so let's make that bigger. It's just font and colors. Let's make that like 16. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, now we can all read it. Not just me. So it says v4.7.2, so I should just be able to find and replace all CS projects, but what I want to do is see if that introduced any other changes. Yes, it did. Eat this. When I'm working on pull requests, especially in open source, I try never to add any additional artifacts to what I'm working on. So by doing that, it added some artifacts there, and it added some artifacts down here, which I don't like at all. So let's undo. So it's not really going to work to go through each file today. So what we do is just undo this change. And it says v4.5, so I'm just going to update that to say v4.7.2. One thing, lightweight, I do compare, that's the only change. That's the only change that should be there. Nothing else. Perfect. Let's save that. Make sure that, let's reload it, and let's see if it builds. And if it builds, we should just be able to find and replace and be done with this. Build started. Good sign. Perfect. That built. So what I am going to do is I'm going to edit the next one. Make sure we get our text correct. Because all of these things are just CH files, right? So I could just come over here, highlight this, and do Control-Shift-F, find in files. I want to do entire solution. I'm going to do replace in files, and instead of doing star, I'm going to do star.csproj. So that's only going to look in our project files. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to replace it with 4.7.2, and that's tiny to read. I should have like a, no, what's it called, magnifier. Yeah. Now, yeah, that's easier to read for people in back. Now I'm updating it to 4.7.2. and the old one was 4.5. So let's unzoom. And I'm going to do replace all. Yes. Well, that wasn't very helpful. It only replaced one. Why did it only replace one? Which one did it replace? That's not what I expected to happen at all. Let's go to changes. So it worked on that one. Okay. Reload this. There's things here, like everywhere. Entire solution, 345. Replace that to V472. Entire solution, star, replace all. Not found. Maybe it's called something different in the, let's look at the Azure connector maybe. Target version framework. And it says here, sad, target version framework 4.5, entire solution, like a CF file. Only one. That's annoying. Do I need to like unload everything? Can I do multiple unloads at once? Yes, that's what we're gonna do. That's annoying. But what I should be able to do before I click all of them is just select all of these projects. I can just go and unload. It looks like we can't modify the CS proj unless it's unloaded. So now if I come back over to replace, that's probably why. One of the things I don't miss about .NET Framework is how you do framework upgrades for enterprise projects. It is not a fun time. The following text was not found. How come it's not doing them all? We can do that too. Let's take a look. Can I open them all at once? No, can't. But if I edit this one, yeah, it's there. This target framework version 4.5. Oh, this is 4.7.2 now, so we can ignore that one. That's this 4.5. Let's just copy, paste, replace all. I'm gonna say one. Oh man, we need to open every single one of those. That's frustrating. That's super frustrating. But if we edit that one and that one, Q now. Yeah, 2. Oh, why? That makes me so angry. There's got to be a better way to do this. Oh, there is. Well, I don't have the tools for that because they are too expensive for my small company to afford. Alright, so we'll just, I guess, unload all the projects and open them up in edit mode and go from there. I don't think there's any projects in these folders. We'll just check. These just look like they're all scripts. Scripts. Close you. Let's unload you. We'll just pin this for now as we go through and edit every single one of these. Nope. Excuse me. We're just gonna go through and open them all. I mean, at least there's only like 50 projects here. Remember one company I worked at, we had 100, 200 projects. If you open up the Oh, Dave Poindexter is here. Hello, Dave. Welcome to the stream. We're updating to .NET 4.7.2, and I am really wishing I had a ReSharper right now to do it. But the other week I was doing some .NET Core stuff, and those solution files are just massive. They got hundreds of projects in them, so we're kind of small in comparison. Going through, opening our projects, and then once we get through this, we can do some fun stuff. We'll unload, unload, or just open them up so we can do find all and replace. Oh, the skin. Favorite DNN skin. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Exilian, I think? I mean, it's on the most basic DNN websites. Alright. Let's get one through. Edit. 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 Alright. We are almost at the end. Nope, nope, no projects in that folder. I got some test projects we should upgrade to. These are great ones to convert to .NET Core, not .NET Core, .NET Framework. Standard words, they're tough today. I meant to say .NET Standard. Ignore everything else I said earlier. And that's what I'm hoping we could do, because these ones have the least amount of dependencies, so we should be able to upgrade some of these to .NET Standard. Playing with adding one the other day, which we might do a little bit of work if we get time for it. I hope we get time for it. So let's go through and edit. I wish I could just select all of these at once. Can't do that though. That's too easy for us. When are we going to .NET Core? That'll be the day. Alright, so now I should be able to Control F. Do find and replace .NET 4.5 to .NET 4.7.2, replace, and it should say a larger number than one. Oh, look at that, 40 occurrences replaced. That is good. That's a good sign. Let's see if we have any other solution items here that I missed. Don't see any here. Oh, lots of folders here though. I don't think there's anything in here, but we're here. We'll just check. Zips, some config files. Alright. And we did these already, I think. Let's check that real quick. Oh, this is 4.5. That's not right. We're going to unload them then. Unload. Edit. Now this is 4.7.2. And this is 4.7.2. Why did it say 4? Let's reload. Maybe there's another change that we had to do that I missed. Go to properties. That says 4.7.2. Maybe it wasn't saved correctly? Save. That says 4, yeah, I don't know. You guys all saw that. That was weird, right? Alright, so now I'm going to go through and start reloading projects, checking them as we go just to make sure that they are correct. That's 4.7.2. And that's 4.7.2. Moving down to our next grouping. Reload project. Yes, we will save changes. Uh-oh, I don't think this one got updated. Got a little lock icon there. Did not. Must have been missed. Let's go fix it. Unload. Go to edit. 4.5. This needs to be 7.2. Save. Reload. 472. You know, I I love Microsoft technologies, I really do, but this has always been a pet peeve of mine, is upgrading to the new platforms. It's always so difficult. I'm really excited with some of the features that we have in .NET Core and using the new .NET Standard template. Like, if we unload this export project right here and we look at it, and this is a mess. This is so noisy. Like, this was great when it was out and new and cool, and I've used it for years, but I love the new standard. It just says, here's your package. Everything else is there. It's done. It's so simple, so easy to read. And there's this wall of text here. It's so daunting for anyone new to look at. Alright, going down our list here. 472. 472. 472. Let's move it along. No, don't open folder. I want to open properties. Alright. And yeah, so once we get this done, I want to play with one of the menu modules that's built into DNN that I've been doing a lot of stuff with. And some of the changes and considerations that we gotta deal with. That's part of moving to Razor pages. So reload this one. Reload. We got red checks, that's a good sign. 472. If you're not really sure where I'm looking, to verify these, zoom in a little. Right over here, right over here. It says 472. That's how I'm confirming all of these as we go through them. What's that? That says 472. Missed one. There we go. Go back here. 472. And 472. Alright. Let's reload these ones. Reload. Save. Seeing red checks. Still a good sign. 472. 472. And 472. Alright, let's do the support projects next. And then we could try building. See what goes wrong from there. Looks like we got another weird one here. What happened here? Let's unload and edit it again. Weird. Weird. I don't know why I didn't get updated. We did find all. It's okay though. That's why we're checking everything before we submit our pull request. 472. Perfect. Moving down the list. 472. 472. 472. 45. Can we do anything with this one? This is a VB project. It's kind of hard to see. I'll zoom in again. People in the back. I know Dave's here. He was hassling me at the last conference we were at that I didn't zoom in enough. We'll zoom in. Can I go any further? Yeah. Everyone read that in the back? It says VB. I hope we can update this one. We should be able to. It's just Visual Basic. It's still .NET. Dave loves VB.NET. It was actually one of the first programming languages that I was, I guess the word would be classically trained. I tried playing with C++ when I was a kid, but when I was in end of high school, I took a Visual Basic 6 class. It's got its place. Every language has got its place, in my opinion. There's no judging here. Every language has got its place. So let's see what we can do about this one. I'm going to go and unload. I have no idea what I'm opening up when I look at the project file. I never work in VB. Schema version, product version, gotta be like framework version. Just like a C# project. All the same. We'll just save that. And reload. Go to properties. 472. Perfect. Down the list we go. Okay, so we don't need this templates folder, but we're at the testing section. So let's reload these. Got red checks. I like it. Reload these. Save. Yes. They all look like they are right checks, but let's go and check them all individually. This is 472. VB6 is where you started to get serious. I liked VB6 as somebody. When I was learning, I really knew nothing about or at least object-oriented programming, and it was really cool to be able to put some stuff on a screen and then do a thing with it. And it was just fascinating as I learned. I did not do good in that programming class. And then I went to college and I did much better. But that one was fun until I couldn't do a lot of stuff in it, and I was embarrassed. All right, all of these are 472. COM and DCOM, classic ASP. I never actually got to touch classic ASP. When I did my first internship, I was working for the medical center here, and we were at one of the first versions of ASP.NET. And I remember we were talking about Cold Fusion, like, oh, you can learn Cold Fusion. They ended up not having me do anything except the ASP.NET work, so I lucked out from there. It depends on your definition of lucked out. 472, 472. All right, moving on to our next set of projects. Reload. Whoa, when did we get 6 viewers here? This is awesome. Never get this many viewers. For anyone joining us late, we're just doing a migration of an enterprise project to 472. And I'm just confirming everything, and we're going to go and submit a pull request. You still run into Cold Fusion modules? It's just a word to me now. I've actually never programmed it, and I don't even know what it looks like. That's great. I mean, legacy is so important, and a lot of people that I run into say, well, I want to work on the latest and greatest technology, but legacy still has a place in the software community, and it's still very important to be able to work with that. I always say, a good programmer when they can go and touch a legacy system and not mess anything else up, kind of like surgically go in there, make their changes, get out, and everything still works. And that's I find that a mark of a really good senior programmer. All right, that's his 472. Cool. So I think that's it. If I go to the Team Explorer, we can look at all of our changes. That looks out. Did we update? Why did we update the web config here? What happened here? Okay, I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I was mentioning earlier when I do these migrations, I don't like noise. This is noise. This is going to upset a code reviewer. Some generated code. Like what really? Oops. Zoom. Oh. Everyone, let me know in the chat if you're having trouble seeing the screen here. I did up the font, but I don't like it. It's like look over here on the left. We have a lot of things has changed, and it really didn't. Like, okay, so it took out the encoding, whatever about that. But what did it really change? It changed white space, and now it's created a diff, and then it really just added this, which, as far as this project's concerned, I don't really think it's necessary, but we'll leave it in. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to copy what's over here on the left. And I'm going to come over here, paste it in, because we can do that. Now that's easy for a code reviewer to look at. When we're going to look at this, we're like, oh, we updated to 472, so they updated the web config here. Done. It's a big pet peeve of mine when you submit your pull request in open source and you reformatted 6 files. Well, why did you reformat them? Were you even working in them? They need to be I try so hard to stay in whatever the whether you're using spaces or tabs. It's just it adds noise and makes it difficult. We're trying to make open source easier for each other, not harder. So let's keep scrolling down here. See if there's anything else like that. VB proj. That's probably why I got missed, 'cause I was only looking for CS proj. I forgot that there was some Visual Basic in here. Alright, still moving. Don't see any other web configs. There should be one all the way at the end. Yeah, I think there is one more we should look at. Actually, I don't know if it gets included. That's a good question. Like, it's here. And I'm sure there's a 4 or 5 in here. Yeah. Target framework 4.5. If I update this to 4.7.2, this is on the get it. This is ignored. Like that change is not going to show up at all. I'm not sure about that one. Any DNN experts know how this file gets generated? It comes out of the build, doesn't it? I think it comes out of the build, then we don't really need to worry about it too much. I'm not sure. Well, let's just try building our solution to start. Make sure that everything actually builds before we can move forward. Right. Well, we're up to 7 viewers right now. That's awesome. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We're doing that. The most dreaded thing of any project is upgrading the framework version. And we're going to submit the pull request. Well, built. That's a good sign, right? Maybe we try some unit tests? I don't know. Should just be able to open up the Test Explorer. Let me open it. Yeah, let's I don't know, let's try the web test, 100 unit tests there. I don't know, I'm just guessing at this point what to do next. I do want to run the actual cake build scripts and make sure that all that stuff works. Yeah, let's just run through all these tests then. I'm not going to run the integration test because I need a database set up for that. Let's run these tests. Run selected. Because these tests all get ran by the CI build process when I submit the pull request. So if those pass, I'm pretty happy. Right. And the unit tests are running. Got the circles, a little silent eye up here at the top. It moves across. Green silent means it's a happy silent. Moving along. Oh no, we have an error. Oh wait, I think it's gonna be. Oh, it's not here. It's gotta be. No, I don't know what this. Something that I care about error. You know, that's the question. Guess we gotta wait. We'll wait and find out. Probably an edge case. Probably does matter. We'll see. Yeah, these are all that are ran under build process because the only tests that I'm aware of that don't run the build process are our integrate. Ooh, maybe it's one of these test projects. That's probably what it is. Check. And that's what happens when you don't work. So it's DNN.integrations. Test.integrations is here. Framework doesn't matter, but there's test.ui. No, it's in the core. It's in the core. What fail? Portals. Let's see what's going on here. Looks like we got some tests that we're skipping as well. Why did it fail? Load portal settings sets time zone property to local time zone. I don't know. Let's see what the error message is first. File not found exception. Could not find assembly .NETNuke .web .client. But why? Where are we? We are in the .NETNuke tests.core project. So let's open that. So it's saying that it cannot find .NETNuke web client .NETNuke. Well, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's not here. Zoom in. Let me move my magnifier over. And we got library, we got log4net, we got utilities. I don't see core here, so that explains a lot. DotNetNuke does like a lot of selection loader and the different implementation details of this project, so probably trying to load that up is just, it needs to be there. So that's why we're not getting, build error, we're getting a runtime error. But let's just add it in. .NETNuke, we said it was .NETNuke Web Core, I think, right? Web Core. Web Client. Yes, Web Client. Alright, so let's just add it in. Web Projects, .NETNuke, scroll down to Web. Web Client. Okay. Make sure it builds. Build started. Okay. And discovering tests. Discovering tests. Discovering. 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 Give it a second. Oh, I can't get over. We got 7 people watching me. That's a new record, and they're all staying here. That's cool. Over the moon here. Everyone that's tuning in. All right, so it looks like I can run. So I'm just gonna click the run button here. Oh yay, we got green. I'm not that famous. I'm just a guy in a shirt, just trying to code some .NETNuke, So let's just run all of our tests again. Whenever I know it's not the fastest way, but whenever I make change to a test suite and I'm getting ready to check stuff in, I like to just run them all again. Just make sure nothing changed. I know nothing changed, but how do you prove it? You prove it by running your unit tests. I know the build's going to run it, but I want to run it here first. Well, Dave, you got to tell your coworkers to tune in so we can get up to 8 then. Oh, we got another error. Error. Why? Maybe it's getting an error because we're running them all at the same time. Let's cancel. Oh, it's in the test URLs one. I don't think I care about that one because that's an integration test. I mean, I care about it. Yeah, that's under test URLs. I don't care about it. I thought that worked the first time. See, this kills me. Integration tests, I love them, but they can be so unstable. They work one day and then they don't work the next, and even immediately after, like back-to-back runs. Years ago, I was working on doing some integration tests, and when the offshore team would call me up and say, your tests don't work, I'm like, just run the build again. What? Just run the build again. We'd run it again, and there it'd go and pass. Like, well, that's frustrating. Like, yeah, it's integration tests. We didn't have time to go back and fix it or make it a little bit more robust. This works. I could show you guys all how to use our fancy cake build process, which probably takes 5 minutes. So, what? We're up to 9 people now? Oh my gosh! Thank you for the more people that are joining in. We are just running some tests right here. I upgraded our .NETNuke project to .NET 4.7.2. Doing that dreaded framework upgrade that no one wants to do, but it's just a part of doing project. Well, thank you, Dave, for inviting the other people in your office. if we get time, I might do a shout out to one of the projects that Dave is his company's been working on for a long time that I like using, but only if we get there. So we gotta hang out. Another error. Oh, I started integration test. Why did I run the integration test? No. I thought I selected certain things. Oh, I've been clicking run all. That's why. Not paying attention. Paying attention. Alright. Let's run them again. Hopefully they work this time. Oh, but now we're down to 7. I guess not everyone likes listening to me ramble on about unit tests and framework migrations. Not the most glamorous thing in the world. These unit tests take a long time. What are we even doing? File I have. Why is it so long? Watching the circles spin. While that goes, I take a look at our GitHub issue and see if there's anything I need to be careful about. I don't think so. No, I think it all looks pretty straightforward to me. I can go and quickly scan. Oh, that's also too small to read. Let's. No. There we go. Let's go to properties here and make this bigger. Let's go up to like 20. No, 24. There we go. Now everyone in the back of the room can see it. Go to Git status. So we got all those. The other thing I just wanted to do. Just kind of quickly scan through and see what's actually being updated. But we need to update this one here. What file is that? We got module console, so let me just notepad, got down the ones to go back to. Modules console, that's it. So it's adding this use 64-bit IOS Express. I don't want that on my pull request. I don't need that noise. This one down here, I don't want that either. File. Same file, so we can go back to that one. I'm okay. And I know this was a file we were talking about earlier that had some encoding issues, but I'm okay with moving this over. That really should have been done. There was just a lot of like extra white space removal and stuff before, so we can do that. That looks good. I'm just gonna scan through this pretty quick now. See if there's any other files that we need to go through. Scanning. That's a little hard on my eyes. Oh, his Mightiness is actually. I saw you posted, Dave, but welcome, Mightiness. I'm glad you could join us. And does Twitch add the soundtrack? No, I actually use this thing called Pretzel, and it's good for streamers with all Creative Commons, non-copyrighted music that allows you to go through. So I just put this on in the background, funnel it through my stream studio here, so we get some chill tunes to listen to while we crush some code. Still scanning, seeing. What did we do here? Right. This is that project where we didn't have the proper project in there, so that's a good add. Yeah, because DNN's it's all over the place. Where it just says it reflects stuff. finds the file and opens it up, and then it unwraps it and does all this craziness. But which is fine. It's the code is expecting it to be loaded by reflection, but the project wasn't there, so we get runtime errors instead of build errors. All right, cool. So it looks like we only have one file we need to go back to. So let's go check the status of our unit test. So yeah, all of those passed. Cool. So I said we need to go to DNN modules console project. So let's just go to our Solution Explorer, DNN modules console, and there it is. And I'm going to unload it, and we're going to do edit. And what were the things that I'm going to do? Diff again. So it added the use 64-bit IIS, don't care, gone. And then it added content include web config, so web config. What was it before? Content. So we'll just come over here, do slash, save. Alright. Yeah, that's much better. Clean. Keep pull requests clean and lean. Make it easier for our friends reviewing. They will appreciate it. A lot of people just do this for the goodness out of their own heart, so why not make it easier for them? Got a follow from his mice. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Alright. So yeah, what do we do next? Let's go commit this and create a pull request. Oh no, we can't do that yet. We got to run the build script. So if you're not familiar with DotNetNuke build scripts, let me show them to you. They're actually pretty cool. Good friend Oliver put them together. It's using Cake. Big fan of Cake. It's really cool to write C# that configures our build. And so we got these different tasks here to run, the different parts of our build, whether we're doing just, a local build, creating an installer and such. I'm just going to run our very simple build here that cleans up our artifacts and compiles all of our sources. I can get carried away and create installers and such, but I'm not going to do that. Do it through here? No, but I usually just go CLI. I'm a CLI guy. I switch between, but I just do build.ps1 for PowerShell. And do it's like target, I think, or is it task? I always know. Let's look it up. Build cake task. Running targets cake build. Yeah, it's target. That's what it is. And the cool thing I really like about Cake, not that it matters right now for DotNetNuke, but in the future, it'll be important because you can run Cake anywhere. It's Linux, Mac, Windows. It's really cool. This is all built on top of .NET Core. But we are in .NET Framework Land, so I'm just going to run the build. So we're just going to do build, hit the go button, and it's just going to do everything for me. Make sure that I got all of my dependencies in place. It's gonna download, run the NuGet, run the build. We're not creating installers right now, but if we were, create installers. Then if that passes, that builds, then we'll submit our pull request. And it's cool because when we're looking through this, we got a really easy console to read. It's telling us the steps that we're at. It depends on who develops your build tasks in Cake, but when you do get it put together nicely, it's really easy to follow. And the thing that I love about it is it's the same exact build that works on our build servers. So it's a great way to certify. I'm running this locally. Let me run the build. It's build pass locally. I'm almost positive it's gonna work in production, or not in production, but on the build server. So it's really a great tool if you haven't used it. I love it. They don't pay me anything to promote it. It's great. You should use it and check it out. Alright, so since it looks like we're going to have some time to play with some other things, Next on my list is the DNN menuing system. It's going to be a little bit of fun we're going to do with that. Once the build finishes, of course. Just wait. We just wait. That's what we do. We get paid to just watch loading screens. We actually do some coding, but lots of loading screens. Can't be any worse than the stream I did the other week. We had 20-minute build cycles. It was terrible. I was afraid to hit the build button for anything because I was like, oh, 20 minutes. Please stay with me. I had like 2 people stay with me. I was so impressed. So like, oh, we'll hang with you for 20 minutes. Crazy. For the build. I already ran the tests. What a file there should be. Check. Well, I should be good to commit this. Even though the build's running. So let's create a valuable message. Upgraded projects to .NET framework 4.7.2. That is missing dependency to project. Is that? Oh, I got that open. I can't do that. Let's one of the test projects, right? Probably just go look it on the solution for. We got Daniel Veladas here. Welcome to the stream. Doing some .NET framework upgrades here for DNN. Just waiting for our build to run, and we're gonna submit some pull requests. Today's DNN day. Getting some of those things on my to-do list done. So I was just looking for our test project. There, it's down here. And what was it? It was a core project, that's right, because we needed to add, there it is. So it's client, so we're going to say added missing dependency to .NET.Nuke. Test core. .NET.Nuke.test core. It's missing. .NET.Nuke.web. .client is what was missing. Build's running through. There we go. See, we got all those different steps going through. Now it's running the MS build script. Well, I understand we're all busy. And Daniel is always doing great stuff for the DNN community. I can't believe he finds time for everything. So I definitely understand. That's the thing I like about Twitch so much. You can just come in, listen for a little bit, and leave if you gotta do. You got it? So, my message is upgraded app projects to .NET Framework 4.7.2. Added missing dependency to .NET Test Core as it was missing .NET Web Client. Perfect. So oh no, it's adding these other files that I don't want. We'll wait until the build finishes. Now that it's actually running through. I mean, if you don't like the music, I'll just go to the next track. It's as simple as that. I mean, what is this one? It's freedom of the mind. You don't like the chill music? Well, we'll move to the next one. Easy. Now this feels like something from like the Twilight Zone or something. Alright, build passed. 5-minute build's way easier to handle than a 20-minute build. We created some artifacts here that I don't want. We're just going to stage everything else. Yeah, I should have done the commit before we ran the build. Killing myself here. Let's just start staging stuff and we'll go from there. Stage everything. We'll go through and unstage stuff I don't want. Don't want you. Don't want you. Don't want you. Unstage. You. Unstage. Well, shouldn't I just be able to clean artifacts? Maybe that would do it. So if I did build PS1 target. Right? That was a command. Instead of build, we should be able to do clean artifacts. Let's try that. Every build's got to have a clean step. Alright. Looks like we still got these DNN manifest files, and so we'll just go down our list. These DNN manifests are for like module projects, so they can have installers associated with them. The DDR menu, I've been spending a lot of time on that this past week, and we'll do a little bit of that once we get this pull request submitted. Going through, cleaning up our artifacts. That one's got 2. That's weird. But no, this actually shows one of my favorite things about DNN, that pretty much everything's an extension. A lot of the stuff that just ships out of the box they're just extensions, and it's really powerful with what you can do with some of those extensions, and especially when you start making your own. We'll unstage those. Got some templates I want to get rid of. Gotta follow. John Galloway's here. That's awesome. Thanks for coming to the stream. I think he's here. He hasn't spoken up in the chat. Alright. Let's see what it updated here in the solution info. I don't think I want to be updating anything. No, I don't want to change anything. We're going to undo that one. We're just good. I already compared it. I want to undo it. We'll just unstage. Back to that later. Unstage. And now I should just be able to come down here and select all of these that undo, because I don't want any of them. Those we can delete. Gone. And I think that is good. Let me just check here, because I like using the CLI. CS prod, web config, CS, VB. Yes. Oh, John Galloway is here. Welcome to the stream. We're just doing a framework upgrade from 4.5 to 4.7.2. John Galloway was talking with Mitch at DNN Summit and made the final recommendation of the upgrade that we're doing today. And there's not that many breaking changes for moving from 4.5 to 4.7.2, so we're doing it. I think last time I spoke with Mitch, we're talking about doing it for the DNN 9.4 release. That's going to be coming up. All right. And now I already got the message we wrote, so I'm just going to hit commit staged. A lot of people are joining in. Upgrades are always they're tedious. A lot of people dread them, but it is cool once it all comes together. And yeah, Cake, we love using Cake. It's really nice to have the build system and local builds running pretty much the same code. Alright, so now we have that done. So I'll type in log, we have our latest commit there, perfect. What do we got for notes that we're going to use? We are going to push to my business one, so we'll do branch, we're on 472 upgrades, I'm going to do push, type in branch, we'll do net 472 upgrade. Excuse me. Alright, so now let's head over to GitHub. We are going to come over here and say Netflix software / DNN platform. There it is. Perfect. So now we got this here. So I'm going to do compare. So one of the things I try to do before I submit any pull request is I come down here and excuse me, and I look through what's changed. Again, we make your pull request easy for whoever's reviewing it. The last thing you want is someone to respond to your pull request saying, "You changed all the encodings in these 10 files, redo it." I've had that happen to me before, and I really thought, like, well, especially when you work with people, and not such a scenario here, but when you work with people that use, Linux, Mac, and Windows, you got to be real careful about your file encodings and even just reformatting files because it's a different style better. You want to get in, change as little as possible to do the job, and get out. We're just double checking to make sure we didn't miss anything. These all say 472. Perfect. I think I can go and submit the pull request. I'm going to just title this, keep it nice and simple, upgrade DNN to .NET Framework 4.7.2. And now we know Andrew really is famous. I am not famous. I am just doing what people ask me to do, which is upgrade DNN .NET 4.7.2. I mean, that's the reason why I like the Twitch streaming. If you're not writing any code, just put it on in the background, listen to someone crush some code. It's fun. I might not stay the whole time, but you don't have to. Alright, so this is the ticket that we need to update. So 2615, so we've done all the work for it. So what I'm going to do is, what I like to do is we'll say closes number, what was the number? I always forget it. 2615. And then let's put a description down. So we're just going to say upgrades all DS Proj and VB Proj files to use .NET Framework 4.7.2 and we verify build still works and all unit tests passing locally. And this one is self-explanatory, and we have the issue to go with it that we've all been talking about. So what I'm going to do is hit the go button after I proofread myself and remove these comments here. So we close 2615, upgrades all CS Proj and VB Proj files to use .NET Framework 4.7.2, verify the build still works, and all unit tests are passing locally. That's a verified commit. I make sure that all of my commits on GitHub are verified. Hit the go button. And merging's blocked because we need to get 2 reviewers to approve it. But when the build's going to kick off, favorite part is looking at builds. I do love watching some DevOps. We're not going to sit here and watch the whole thing, but it's always fun just to take a quick look at what's going on. Waiting for the agent. Waiting. Waiting, waiting, still waiting. Super cool stuff. You're gonna need to refresh. Nope, it's actually just waiting for the building. Well, we'll come back and look at that in a minute. So the next thing I wanted to do was take a look at, let me go find it. There's a pull request out right now. It's got a little orange thing. Bill's gonna be running in a minute. Yeah, so the DDR menu. I really had no idea how any of this stuff worked, because we're gonna shift gears now to the DDR menu. So as part of our initiative for Razor Page, and part of the reason why I kind of dove deep in the DDR menu. Oh, question. Can you now build database provider for DNN? Brad, you only need 15 minutes. No. I will take requests, but that's one I will say no to. But look at that, we got 9 viewers right now. We're almost double digits. It's exciting. I've never had this many viewers on a Twitch stream. I'm really excited to have everyone here, and welcome to everyone. Thanks for coming. The next thing I want to look at is the DDR menu, and the reason why I started looking at this a lot closer is so we're doing this Razor Pages migration in DNN, and kind of providing this path forward with .NET Core. And one of the problems is we're starting to deprecate not many, but we're starting to deprecate, there it is. I submitted a pull request for it. This guy. So we're starting to deprecate Razor modules, which was all pretty much a very lightweight and dirty way to use CS/HTML files inside of DNN. And we wanted to reduce confusion behind Razor Pages and these Razor modules, which are built on ASP.NET Web Pages Razor 3, I think is the technical name. And this stuff is super cool if you haven't played with it. You know what? I put a link in one of these things. Let me go find it. Here it is. Linked. I'm going to drop that in the chat. Let's look at the stream. Inside of the stream. It's always fun. This stuff's just super cool. And it allows you to pretty much use Razor inside of a web forms project, which is cool. They got all sorts of docs here for how to use it. And one of the problems that we had was, so this Razor library that we have in DotNetNuke just wraps that. So I submitted this pull request that allowed us to basically remove this statement from our Razor syntax, so we can just use system.web.webpages and kind of help provide us a path forward as we deprecate this Razor project that's not really going to be needed once we make a full Razor Pages implementation. So it really got me working on the DDR menu that's built into DNN. What's the DDR menu? So I got this skin that I've been working on, and it's kind of a nice little example to show you. So over here, the DDR menu is what you see right here at the top. So I'm circling the home button. It allows you to use Razor to customize your menuing system. So like if I was to log into this website here, go log in. So the DDR menu is building all of this for us. So what that would look like is, I have it over here. So this is what a custom menu using CS/HTML, your Razor syntax looks like in DNN, and we call this render pages helper function, which just takes in our pages to display, and we can write stuff that's easy to read. I'm not a big fan of the token-based system that's built into DNN. While it's very powerful, you know how to use it. I'm not good at it. I like Razor syntax, so this is, to me, learning how to work with the DDR menu has really changed how I can skin websites, and using DNN, I can write Razor, and I'm good at Razor. It's been fun. So this is I find this easy to read, and that's kind of what the DDR menu does. So we're not going to build one of those. Nice work, and thanks again for the pull request to NV Quick Theme. Yes, thank you for the reminder. What we did, we'll head over to David's project, Envision Native, NV Quick Theme. We added this little pull request in. Where did we put it? Here it is. Added new DDR template to using Razor template. So this is really cool. So if you're not familiar with NV Quick Theme, you need to go and check it out. I'm going to drop a link in the chat for everyone. Link dropped. Perfect. But so NV Quick Theme is a theme building utility built in that you can use right inside DNN to customize your themes really easily. It's got all the cool front-end frameworks and NPM in there. I love it. But they use this token-based system, which is really the default standard in DNN, and it generated this top screenshot. So when I figured out exactly how the Razor menuing system worked in the DDR menu, I created this pull request that really simplified it. So if we look at the changes here, it's very similar idea. Just wrote CSHTML, and that's it. The other way, if we go and actually, since we got this project opened up, if we go to menus main, we got this main menu text file, and I find this really hard to read. It's really confusing. I'm not really sure what all of these tokens do. I don't know where I honestly don't know where the docs are for it. I looked at for it once, I couldn't find it very easily. So I get why this is valuable. I personally just don't like it. Live coding is pretty cool. Didn't realize that until now. It's kind of like a user group meeting in a way. Yes, his mightiness with the question there. Or the statement, I guess. It is really cool. It's kind of like a user group, but the thing that I try to do with all of my streams is nothing here is orchestrated, nothing here is planned. The only thing, I came into today thinking, okay, I'm going to do .NET Framework migration, and then if we have time, depending on how that goes, let's look at DDR and some of the changes that I did with that, and let's write some code with that. So, it's none of this is scripted. And my streams will always be that way, where I have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I don't know how it's going to go, and we're just going to code. And it's real informal, trying to interact with everyone in the chat as I can. This is the most people I ever had chatting. Love everyone that's showing up. Thanks for coming. But yeah, I believe Daniel Vivolatis was talking about. This is good for designers and such that might not know Razor. Personally, I still find it very confusing. I see the benefit. I do see the benefit of it. I find it difficult to work with, and I prefer Razor. So you can now, or not now, but for a while you've been able to use it. I'm working on a blog post for this one, and so people can see my method for it. And for the nice folks over at NV Quick Theme, we're going to include this in 2.1.0. So check it out, or you can just copy the code. It's pretty easy to just insert in. And the way that it would work inside of a theme, we go back over here. I can go and show you. By the way, I am using NV Quick Theme over here. This is a work in progress theme that I'm building. But so right here I specify I'm using my hero menu, and I just say menus, sticky menu, and the code for that is pretty simple. Where did I stick it? Your menus, we got hero menu. We got this XML file that needs to be there. It's called menu def.xml. Specify the location of my CSHTML file, and that's it. It gets so simple, and I wish I knew about this a long time ago. Right, it is so easy to switch between the two. For this particular project, I don't need them both now, but there was, but at the beginning I needed to have a hero menu and a sticky menu. So like, we go and look at this theme here. Right now it's in hero mode, but as I scroll down, the sticky menu appears, and they were built slightly differently originally. I've done a little bit of refactoring where I don't need them both, but the code still references them that way. So if we go back to where did I put? It's partials. Go to header here. So I have a sticky menu. Actually, I'm using both sticky menu. At one point, they were both the IDs are different. So one is for sticky and one is for hero. So I was able to use two different templating things. And it was just really cool. And it's just really easy to update. You just update the menu style and you path in the folder location of where you want to go. It's so cool, so cool. Not sure if I know about it, but XML can also load CSS, JavaScript. Yes, I do. I haven't really played with it a whole lot, but talking with my buddy Brian Dukes the other day, and he helped me understand a lot of this stuff and showed me that how to do that with the XML file. So that was really cool. And we are back up to 9 viewers. I hope maybe we can get to 10 viewers in this session. Thanks everyone for joining in. But we can talk about theming, skinning, NV quick theme all day, and that's not what I want to talk to you guys about. Looking back at so DDR menus. Okay, now everyone's kind of caught up what I've been doing with the DDR menu, some of the work I've been doing with it. So let's open up the let's go and create. We need to go back. So I'm going to go back to our development branch. And I'm going to create a new branch. Did I create a branch for this already? Let me check. I got something I've been working on here. So, I got this DDR menu test. So if I go to get checkout, DDR menu tests. Let me just check our commit history. Yeah. So, might be a good idea for NV Quick Theme to load the menu JavaScript there. That way, if you do not load the menu template, yeah, I think that's I think that would be a great enhancement for somebody to submit a pull request to NV Quick Theme. That's open source. We are all in this together. I now knowing what I know about DDR menu, I think it'd be really cool to put your scripts where they need to be. Don't just load them all for the sake of loading them in. If you don't load the menu, why load your menu scripts? In my case, I'm not using any special third-party menuing. I know the NV Quick Theme uses something called the Slim menu, but I'm not doing that with my theme, so it's not really needed. But you could set it up so you keep your theme lean, because DNN's heavy as it is. You want to keep everything lean. So let's go back to Visual Studio. It's going to yell at me. Need to reload stuff, so we'll reload. So when I got done with removing Razor 3. When I got done with removing not Razor 3, but the DotNetNuke Web Razor project from the DDR menu, one of the things I try is let's add unit tests. What's the next thing someone's going to ask when you do a pull request if after they get past your actual code? Well, did the unit test pass? Did you add unit tests to test your new functionality? How can we do that in DNN? With this particular project, we really can't. There's no dependency injection. It's just classes and a lot of static API calls. And it just doesn't work. So what I started doing is inside this project, there is this template engine. And there's this Razor template processor. So what I started doing is I started setting, because one of the next things we're going to try and do once we get that pull request we just completed is we're going to start trying to set up dependency injection in DNN as part of that migration to make things more testable, and make things more flexible. So this Razor template processor, that's the magic of the DDR menu to run those Razor templates. And it was using HTTP context, something similar to that called DNN context, and something called path resolver. And these were all static APIs. And back when this stuff was originally built, it made sense to do it that way. And it's not really the way to do stuff anymore. So I started creating constructors that would inject our dependencies so we can then write some test code with it. So then we go down to our test project. Let me get rid of providers. Gone, no integration test, unit test. So I created this new test project. And we got this guy in here, Razor template processor test. So So I go through and I run all of our unit tests here. Run. Gotta let it build once we change projects. Alright, build succeeded. And then did not run the tests. Maybe they're still running? Tests. Executing all tests. There we go. Now it's going. It's moving. We can zoom in for everyone. There we go. Look at that. It did everything we needed to do. I really did. But we go to Test Explorer. Cool. So all of our tests passed. So, you know, my test code for this is really just testing out the public APIs of this Razor template processor. And I spoke with a couple people in the technology advisory group about the changes I want to do, and they had some really good feedback for me. So, you know, creating this processor object is easy. So we go to the DNN abstract class here inside of this module. It just news it up, which is great, because if something is just being newed up, I can just inject in whatever I want. So I'm going to inject in my context, and path resolver is something new that I updated. So path resolver, and this is where the problem is. So let's go take a look at the path resolver. And then we'll talk about it. Okay, so the path resolver was a static API that I started to update. And one of the first thing I noticed was, so this command right here was actually in the constructor here. And I wanted to move it out and put it into this initialize method. That just made sense. You know, constructors are meant for initializing dependencies, where not really initializing you know, the manifest folder for doing properties like this. I usually create some type of initialize method like in here, and this is well-structured code. And, you know, separation of concerns. Constructor does a thing, initialize does a thing. They're not the same. The initialize just return the objects I can kind of use like a fluent API syntax when I'm actually using this, which ended up working out pretty nicely. But the feedback I got was, this is a breaking change. This is 100% a breaking change, and what we need to do if we're going to make a change like this is we need to update this to handle that and deprecate the function that we want to change. So what I am going to do is create another constructor called path resolver, string manifest folder, and we're just going to do this dot manifest folder equals manifest folder, and next say this. And if you haven't seen this syntax, basically, and you can see it highlighted now, that's gonna call the base constructor. I could also, or the default constructor, I can also set it up to go anywhere I want, but in our case here, I want to call the default constructor. Next question. Can play A and B on my brand new guitar, is that relevant? I mean, it's only relevant if you want it to be relevant. Hey. So the this command here is going to go to and call the path resolver. So the other thing that I need to do here is I need to deprecate this. And where we do that, I want to do one other change here. So instead of having this code be identical in both spots, I'm actually just going to call the initialize, and that way everything's encapsulated inside that one particular function if I need to change it for whatever reason. That way we don't get any weird error. Alright. Now I can mark this as obsolete. And I'm going to say obsolete. Man, the IntelliSense snippets are really tiny. What I get for just updating the font. So there's some things we need to do here, but they're not checked in. So let me head over to our pull requests. Where is it? There is a deprecate one, unless someone... Nope, there it is. Still waiting to get this one merged in, but we got 2 approvers, so this one is good to go, I think. All checks have passed. Someone just needs to go and merge it, I think. Anyways, so we came up with a syntax here that we wanted to use. So we're going to grab that syntax. So I'm going to merge this in for 931. Try and get it merged in for 931, which means it's going to be removed at version 11. So one of the rules with DNN now is you need to wait 2 major versions to actually remove an API. So we need to deprecate this in 9.3 or 9.x so we can remove it in 11.0. So I'm going to reference initialize string manifest folder instead. So now, if someone tries using this, it'll still work, but it'll tell them, hey, you really shouldn't use it anymore. And that means all the code should still work. So let's go and take a look at what it actually means for us. I don't think anything's actually using this. How do I want to test that? There. I should just be able to update some test code for that. Well, let's go and find a test that we want to copy. Processor.load definition. No, not that one. Render should be a valid. Render valid web page. Let's see what that one does. So we have render. Let's use the path resolver. I'm going to create another. Well, that would actually be a path resolver test. It wouldn't really fit into that. So let's see. As I stumble through my thought path here, we have the Razor template. Oh, His Mightiness needed to leave. Thanks for coming. Glad you could join us. And thank you for the nice words there. So let's go and take a look at this path resolver here. So we have, I added an interface for it because dependency injection interfaces, they're nice. But we also have a concrete implementation of it. So if I go and hit Control comma, path resolver without an I, it's going to be in the common, is where we were earlier. So what I'm going to do is see, that is in the common, where this guy is in the template engine. So I'm going to go and create another folder in my test project here. Just more tests. Click common, and we will say new class path resolver tests. Easy. So one of the things in this so the way I build out my unit tests, this is something that I'm hoping will get approved as part of the part of when I complete this update for DDR menu, is a little different, but it's actually pretty nice when you understand how it all works. So I have our assembly. Did I not remove that? So there's 2 ways to do this. So one is to completely remove the tests at the end. I actually left it in this case. Doesn't really matter because I'm going to change it every time anyways. But over here, so I created this .NET Nuke modules DDR test comment. I don't want it to be like that. I'm going to move that the end, like that. And the reason why I do that is now this namespace maps one-to-one with where things are. I found that it's really not that helpful when you have tests in the middle of your namespace, and a test project should always be, in my opinion, should always be at the end, and that way it makes it a little bit easier to organize your test code, especially when you're doing different types of user interfaces. So we're using NUnit here, so I'm going to add in our test fixture, include our references. We'll do public void. What do we want to call this test? We'll say initialize test folder. And I want to call it test. What did I do for my naming convention here? I put test at the end of everything. So we're going to do initialize manifest folder and say test. The one time you'll see me doing snake case here with those underscores. But I should just be able to do, path resolver. Oh no, we're losing people. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. No problem. So do new path resolver. I should just be able to get from DDR common. Alright. So we know that works, but what I want to test is, so this test we're going to do the initialize. And there's really no way I can assert that it works or not, so we're just going to pass in now some test folder. And as long as it doesn't throw an exception, I'm going to be happy with this one. The one that I really want to test is we'll do void, and I'm going to say constructor manifest folder test. Throw a little test attribute at the top of that. Excuse me. And we're going to say path resolver equals new path resolver, and say sum manifest folder. So something that we could do to certify. So this is going to give us that warning. So let me zoom in here so we're going to see what's going on here. Let me slide over. Yes. Alright. So what's nice is you're going to deprecate it. You marked it as obsolete. When someone tries using it, it's going to get that green squiggly like, hey, you probably shouldn't use this. What are potential fixes? Maybe look at show potential fixes. Let me unzoom. What are my potential fixes? Draft method. That's not helpful. I wonder if I could do C# obsolete potential fixes. I wonder if there is something inside the obsolete that can provide. Nope, there's nothing there. I was really hoping that I could reference another function or constructor as a potential fix, but nope. Anyways, so it says right there what they need to do, use initialize instead. So that's good. Maybe I should put that in quotes. There we go. In quotes. Easy. Still there. That's fine. So now, I'm fine with this working. I don't really expect this to. As long as it doesn't throw an exception, I'm pretty happy with the test. At least for this type of stuff. We could kind of get carried away with, testing if those dependencies were set correctly. As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy here. So we can just go ahead and run these tests. Run test. Failed. Why did it? See, it still get problems with these things. So let's just debug it and see what happens. And then I need to work on my Twitch stream so I can play the sound effects like some of the more famous coders do. So we step into this. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a problem. That test is not going to work at all. That's not fun. But it's cool because it says it's under test. So let's go back to our path resolver test. Why did this one fail? I'll reference exception. You know why? Because the constructor tries to use a static API. So I'm going to update this one. Because those things don't really have an interface to use. We're going to hit the go button here. That test passes. This one still fails. What can we do about these tests? In the DNN context, there is a utility library where I can get the context. I don't know if there's a utility library for the DNN context. Let's take a look. Where is this utilities library here? Nope, that just jumped around. That was weird. Here we go. So there's an inner test helper. So this one creates a HTTP context. No. That all makes sense. I could just see what happens. Give it a shot. Try anything once. Nope, we're climbing back up to 5 viewers. Thanks for whoever's tuning in. Had a few people had to go early today. Let's try using that utility library that we just found. So what is it? Unit test helper. Unit test helper. Set this guy. And we're just gonna say host. I want it to be. And no, I don't want to snag it open. I think I free something for there. Alright, so let's try this. Hit the debug button. Step in. We'll say this. Yes. Alright, hold on, do the initialize. Alright. Alright. So now that passed, and that passed. Cool. So now we have added some new unit tests. Path. We have the that's we should probably we can add a test around that. There's no silly call. Alright, looks like I am having some problems with my Surface, so I'm over here on my Mac. Sorry about that. I'm going to need to reboot one of my streaming tools that I'm using over there. Get that fixed and we'll get back to what I was saying. I hope that you guys didn't go without audio for too long. I'll have to watch the recording afterwards. So I should be back in action over on my Surface. No, I am not back in action.